Hi, I'm Ron Bateman, the Sheriff of Anne Arundel County. Welcome to your Anne Arundel's Most Wanted program, a program where we showcase wanted criminals, highlight open cases, and look to you for tips. You, concerned citizens that share my same goal, and that's keeping our communities safe. You'd be proud to know that your calls have allowed us to put handcuffs on thousands of criminals. So sit back, set your DVR, or grab a pen and paper, and help do your part in catching criminals. You're watching Anne Arundel's Most Wanted.
And now from the Anne Arundel County Police Department, Mr. Mark Lemansky, the Public Information Officer. Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Who'd you bring for us?
We have three individuals today, Sheriff. Our first subject today is Xavier Foster Fields. On January 27, 2018, at approximately 11:35 p.m., Fields and three accomplices attempted to force their way into a residence located at the 300 block of Highland Drive in Glen Burnie. The resident was able to keep three of the assailants out, however, Fields was able to enter the residence. Once inside, Fields assaulted a female victim by striking her in the head with the butt of a handgun. Other occupants began defending the victim by striking Fields with a baseball bat. Fields then fled from the residence. Today we are looking for Xavier Foster Fields, who is a 5' 9" African-American male. He is 18 years old and has a medium build with a date of birth of March 12, 1999. His last known address is 969 Dogwood Tree Drive in Annapolis, Maryland. He has an outstanding warrant for home invasion and assault. Our next subject is Kenneth Gene Linton. On January 26, 2018, officers responded for a disturbance at a convenience store located in the 6900 block of Ritchie Highway in Glen Burnie. The victim reported that Linton had been acting aggressively over the past several days and on January 26th threatened to set fire and burn down the victim's residence. The investigation revealed that Linton had the ability and means to carry out this threat. Today we are looking for Kenneth Gene Linton. He is a 5' 7" tall, 155-pound white male with brown hair and brown eyes. He has a date of birth of May 5, 1963. Linton has no fixed address but has been known to frequent the area of the 6700 block of Chesapeake Center Drive in Glen Burnie. He has an active warrant for threat of arson. Our last subject is James Everett Trent. On October 31, 2018, a woman was returning her shopping cart after loading her car with packages when an unknown male entered her vehicle and stole her purse, which contained her cell phone and other personal items. The male fled, but the victim and other witnesses got a good look at him. The stolen property had a value of over $2,300. Witness statements and physical evidence recovered led officers to identify the thief as James Everett Trent. So today, we are looking for 58-year-old James Everett Trent, who is a 5' 9" tall, white male with brown hair and brown eyes. His last known address is 8421 Allison Lane in Rosedale, Maryland. Trent is currently wanted and has an active warrant charging him with felony theft.
Yeah, I think that case there should serve as a reminder to people to always keep your vehicles locked, even if it's for a short period, because they're looking for that split second they can reach in and steal something.
Absolutely.
Great. Folks, you know the whereabouts of any of those individuals, call that number, 410-222-1490, or 911, 24 hours a day. Keep those calls coming in. They are definitely paying off. Mark, thank you very much, brother.
Thank you, sir. Have a good one.
Okay, now everyone recognizes our next guest. This is Corporal Amy Megath from the Annapolis Police Department, but this is the last time you're ever going to see her on the show as a corporal, because as of Thursday, what's the date of Thursday?
The 8th, February 8th.
February 8th, she is going to be Sergeant Amy Megath from the Annapolis Police Department. And her husband, Dave, is getting promoted from sergeant to lieutenant. So congratulations to both of you. That's really cool.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Cool little family event.
Yes.
Neat. So who'd you bring for us?
I've got three today. The first one is Juan Gray. His date of birth is January 19th of 1968. He's an African-American male, 5' 9" tall, weighing 183 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. His last known address is 118 Conley Drive in Annapolis, and he has an open warrant for distribution of controlled dangerous substance, possession of CDS with intent to distribute, and possession of CDS. An undercover officer called the phone number of a known drug dealer in an attempt to purchase heroin. They had a conversation and the drug dealer agreed to meet so the undercover officer could purchase heroin. The officer met with the dealer, identified as Juan Gray, and purchased suspected heroin from him in a controlled buy. The purchase was audio and video recorded. The heroin purchased field tested positive for heroin, and the officers obtained this warrant for Gray. The second subject is Adolfo Antonio Serrano. His date of birth is March 2nd of 1982. He's a Hispanic male, 5 foot 8 inches tall, weighing 165 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. His last known address is 1282 Graff Court, Apartment B in Annapolis, and he has an arrest warrant for second-degree assault and a bench warrant for driving without a license. The second-degree assault warrant stems from a domestic assault. The adult female victim reported that Serrano grabbed her by the throat, pinning her against the wall, and strangled her. Serrano then punched her several times in the face. The victim was treated at Arundel Medical Center. The officer obtained this arrest warrant for Serrano. Prior to the domestic assault, on another occasion, Serrano was stopped by an officer after leaving an altercation at a restaurant. Serrano was driving without a license. He was cited but failed to come to court on this charge. And the third subject is Charles Frank Rourke. His date of birth is November 12th of 1944. He's a Caucasian male, 5 foot 9 inches tall, weighing 190 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. His last known address is 1934 Lincoln Drive in Annapolis. His first warrant is for second-degree assault, and his second warrant is for malicious destruction of property. In April of 2011, officers responded for a report of a domestic assault. The victim walked out of her apartment and saw her estranged husband, Charles Rourke, walking around her son's car. When the victim approached Rourke, he walked away from the car over a hill and got into his own vehicle. Rourke revved his vehicle's engine and drove towards the victim. The victim attempted to move out of the way, but before she was completely clear, the vehicle struck her right arm. The victim's son found deep scratches to his vehicle on the passenger side front quarter panel, as well as the front and back door on the passenger side.
Very good. Folks, you know the drill. If you know the whereabouts of any of these individuals, call that number on the screen, 410-222-1490 or 911, 24 hours a day. For the last time ever, Corporal Amy Megan, thank you very much.
Thank you, Sheriff.
So it is my sincere pleasure to welcome back Trooper First Class Katie Fallen from the Maryland State Police, who's returning back from maternity leave, who just had a baby boy. His name, how much did he weigh, all that.
Cannon Sherwood, 7 pounds, 1 ounce, and he was 19 inches long.
Cool
Yeah.
beans. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You and your husband got to be elated.
Oh yeah, it's very exciting.
Cool.
I'm glad to be back.
Who'd you bring for us?
Okay. For the Glen Burnie Barrack, we have 3 subjects. Our first one is Tavon Markel Ashford. He's a black male with the date of birth of August 7th, 1978, the last known address of Woodhill Drive in Glen Burnie, Maryland. On January 10th, 2017, Ashford was observed on I-97 in the Glen Burnie area, traveling at a rate of 90 miles per hour in a 65-mile-per-hour zone. As troopers were attempting to catch up to the vehicle, Ashford was observed weaving in and out of traffic and onto both shoulders of the roadway. After the stop was made on Oakwood Road, troopers made contact with Ashford. Upon contact with Ashford, troopers detected a strong odor of alcohol and observed his eyes to be glassy and bloodshot. Additionally, Ashford exhibited slurred speech. Ashford further advised the troopers his license was suspended through Maryland. Based on observations by troopers, Ashford was asked to perform field sobriety exercises, which he performed poorly on. Further investigation revealed Ashford also had marijuana in his possession. Due to the circumstances, Ashford was arrested and charged with DUI and CDS possession. He was scheduled for a court appearance on December 13, 2017, which he failed to appear for. He now has an active bench warrant. Our second subject is Antoine Delano Matthews, the black male, the date of birth of January 28, 1991, and a last known address of Mayor's Court in Annapolis, Maryland. In June 2016, Matthews was observed driving on I-97 in the Millersville area. Matthews' driving exhibited signs of impairment by running off the roadway onto the grass median and crossing into an adjacent lane. Matthews could not maintain a constant speed and would fluctuate between 50 and 80 miles per hour. Troopers stopped Matthews, and upon contact, they detected a moderate odor of alcohol coming from inside the vehicle. He exited his vehicle and was found to be unstable on his feet and not able to walk without assistance. Based on these observations, Matthews was asked and agreed to perform field sobriety exercises. Matthews performed poorly on those exercises and subsequently was arrested and charged with DUI. Matthews was found to be double the legal limit in Maryland. Matthews was scheduled for a court appearance on January 3rd, 2018, which he failed to appear for. Matthews now has an active bench warrant. And our last subject is Daryl Emil Blake, a black male, date of birth of April 27th, 1978, and a last known address of 4th Street in Laurel, Maryland. In October 2016, troopers were dispatched to the area of Route 50 and Route 2 for a reported single vehicle collision. When troopers arrived, they observed a Nissan Altima in a ditch off the ramp in that area. Upon contact with Blake, it was revealed he did not possess a driver's license and only had an identification card. Blake appeared confused as to his location and had difficulty answering simple questions provided by troopers. While speaking with Blake, troopers detected a strong odor of alcohol coming from Blake's breath. Due to observations by troopers, Blake was asked to perform field sobriety exercises, which Blake agreed to and stated he was not intoxicated. Blake performed poorly on the exercises and was subsequently arrested and charged with driving under the influence. Blake refused to submit to the breath test and was scheduled for a trial on January 10, 2018, which he failed to appear for. Blake now has an active bench warrant.
Folks, you know the whereabouts of any of those individuals. You know the drill. I sound like a broken record every single month, but it's important. Do not approach them. Instead, call that number on the screen, 410-222-1490 or 911, 24 hours a day.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you very much, and welcome back.
Thank you.
And now for those subjects wanted by the Anne Arundel County Sheriff's Office. Our first subject is going to be Travis Scott Kramer. In December 2017, this subject was serving a sentence of 8 months of house arrest for possession with the intent to distribute drugs. With only 47 days left on his sentence, the subject had an altercation with someone at his house in Edgewater. When police responded, they found that his ankle monitor had been cut off and was lying in the yard. The house arrest program was notified and the subject was subsequently charged with escape. The subject's family has not seen or heard from him since. In addition, he also did not appear for court on January 29, 2018. So today we are looking for Travis Scott Kramer. He's a 31-year-old white male, 5 foot 11 inches tall, weighs 200 pounds. His date of birth is June the 30th, 1986. His last known address is 1224 Pine Avenue in Edgewater. And our next subject, Stephen Christopher Carson. In June of 2017, this subject was found guilty of 2 counts of resisting arrest and sentenced to 2 years of probation. He has since violated almost all conditions of his probation and now has a warrant. Deputies have made multiple attempts around the Annapolis and Edgewater areas, but have been unable to locate him. He is possibly homeless and may be staying in Baltimore City. To our knowledge, this subject does not have a vehicle or cell phone and is unemployed. He has previously been arrested by deputies in the Edgewater area, but has not been seen in the area for weeks. So today we are looking for Stephen Christopher Carson, 29-year-old white male who's 5 foot 11 inches tall, weighs 208 pounds. He has a date of birth of December 26, 1988. His last known address was on 7th Avenue in Edgewater. And our last subject, it's going to be Kayla Schenning. In December 2017, officers responded to an address on Glenmar Circle for the report of a burglary. Now, using the surveillance cameras on the property, officers learned the burglars climbed up the balcony and entered a second-story apartment. The suspects then exited the apartment and fled in a greenish-blue 1997 Pontiac Sunfire. The Pontiac, which was also caught on surveillance cameras, is owned by our subject, Kayla Schenning. She is charged with first-degree burglary, conspiracy, and theft. So today we are looking for Kayla Schenning. She's a 27-year-old white female, 5 foot 6 inches tall, weighs 150 pounds. She has a date of birth of June the 12th, 1990, and her last known address is 501 West Furnace Branch Road in Glen Burnie. Now, folks, let me thank a few people who allow the show happen every single month. First, my man, Mr. Dale Boyer, behind the camera. We also have Acting Lieutenant Brian Andre from the Sheriff's Office, and of course our County Executive, Mr. Steve Shue, Chiefs of Police, Tim Altamari, and Mr. Baker from Annapolis City, and of course my friend from the Maryland State Police, Mr. Palazzi. So folks, remember, let's keep Anne Arundel County safe. I'm Sheriff Ron Bateman, and we'll see you next time on Anne Arundel's Most Wanted.